Sake is, it is like, how can I describe it? You know, it's like angels are having sex in your mouth. That's really the only way I can describe it. What the Japanese do is they take the rice, you see, and what they'll do is they will put it into a giant rock tumbler and they'll mill it down, and they grind away the outside portion of the rice hull, and then they will put it into a fermentation vat. The first thing they have to do is they have to treat it with a particular kind of mold, koji, which converts the starch to sugar. Then they do the fermentation on that, and there's this huge long process and a lot of ritual involved, and then they sell it to me and I get happy. That's pretty much how it works.
And
The last
other
step,
people buy it as well.
the last step of course has most importance in this case. You can buy it and you get happy.
I should be saving this all for the stage. I don't know what I'm doing up here.
You're drinking the wine I bought.
I'm drinking the wine you bought, right?
That is also
Thank
kind
you,
of a
thank
stage
you.
here.
Yeah, mini stage.
I should have made him try this. You see, this gentleman I trust. There's a story, and of course there are detractors out there who say the story is not true, but take it from one who knows the facts. My friend and colleague to the Ranting Breton was at RBW a number of years ago, and he was standing about the pub, and from the darkness someone just pressed a glass into his hand. So naturally he consumed what was in the glass, never saw who it was, gave it to him. He immediately fell unconscious. He actually staggered about for a bit, managed to do his show halfway. He was in bed, sick as a dog, for a good 2 days. There's a fair certainty, and the police were involved, that there was something in that drink that he didn't know about. And of course people say, he just drank too much. I know the man. I know what happens when he drinks too much. When he drinks too much, he just gets quiet. And he'll just sort of stare. And then he'll quietly nod off, but then 15 minutes later, bing, he'll wake up again and be ready to go. So I've known the man many years. He does not react to alcohol that way. He does react to caffeine that way, which is rather odd. Caffeine makes him dreadfully, dreadfully ill.
Oh, I know.
He can't drink coffee, poor fellow. So if somebody offers him like an Irish coffee, he says, I'll just have the Irish.
It's my morning.
I do miss RBW. I know there's politics involved. RBW was particularly fun for me because you had to walk from the actual con site down to the river with all these fursuits and then back. And at back, it's after midnight. And there'd be 40, 50 fursuits marching past all the pubs. The fun for me was to march ahead of them saying, nothing to see here, you've had too much, go home, sleep it off.
I'd love to see that face.
Somehow I can imagine that many would have been rather startled. Yeah, you just had too much.
I'm evil that way.
But the fun thing is that the lorry drivers already know where they're going by, so they start honking before seeing any persons.
One of them had the same horn as the General Lee. That was quite nice.
Well, I was a little worried. There's a motorway just out here, isn't there? Was it 2 years ago? A German fur, you must correct me. I think it was 2 years ago at the Maritime Hotel in Germany. They're on a city street, rather well-traveled city street.
Yeah, it's right in front of the home.
Exactly. There were a bunch of fursuiters standing out front, waving to cars, big gathering of them, and a car slowed down to gawk. And there was a sound of screeching tires and a god-awful crunch, and all the fursuiters ran inside. Yeah, so ever since then, we've always been a little nervous when there's speeding traffic going by. Because it's both tragic and funny as hell at the same time.
Kind of the Wonder Bra billboard effect, isn't it?
Exactly, yes.
Never put them on roundabouts.
Yeah, it's like the drivers looking at the fursuiters and crashes.
That could be fun. We could put a bunch of fursuiters out on the roundabout out.
Just become vans.
They would have had to cross 3 roundabouts to get to Hinckley.
No.
A group of fursuiters
I'm going
went
to
to
slide
Hinckley.
down. Hold this for me. Got it with your paws?
All for you.
would you like?
I've been doing some
That was much better than when you got up. I'm going to wander about a little bit because I think I'm forming a distraction.